you can't handle the fact that someone put up a pro-Trump display in the front of the store. Are we just gonna boycott everything? Welcome back to Bible Bears, guys. I'm Ryder Cullison. Okay, so I'm talking about two boycotts going on right now at the same time. The first one is Disney's release of Mulan. So, Mulan, which is a remake of the animated version of the movie that came out back in the 90s. It was originally supposed to be released, I think, this past March. Obviously, everything was shut down because of COVID. So now Disney has released it on Disney Plus. You have to pay like $29 to get it. It's being boycotted for two reasons. One, the main actress, the woman who plays Mulan, Liu Yifei, I'm sure I mispronounced that. Put that in the comments below if you want. So she went and expressed support on social media for the Hong Kong police, who are currently clashing with the pro-democracy protesters in Hong Kong. So that's one reason why people want to boycott Mulan, because she is supporting the police. I really don't know if she's on the right side or not. I mean, if a Hollywood actress were to support our police in Portland, I'm sure every movie that person did would be boycotted from now on, just because they supported the police. I would actually be on the side of that actor or actress because I support the police in Portland and all these other cities where looting and rioting is taking place. So I don't know exactly what's going on with the protesting in Hong Kong. It seems natural to be on the side of the pro-democratic protesters, but if they're setting fires and looting like we see happening in the US, then I'm with this actress. I mean, why not support the police there if they're stopping businesses from being destroyed? So I don't know what side of the fence she's on here, but I don't see any reason to boycott the movie because she tweeted something on social media, or she put something on Instagram. I don't know. Now, the second reason why it's being boycotted is because the movie was partially filmed in the Zhejiang province. Another word I probably butchered, okay? Now, why is this significant? Because in the credits of the movie, Disney thanks the governing entities in that province, okay? Zhejiang is where many of the Uighurs live. Now, the Uighurs are the Muslim group of ethnic Muslim minority group living in the Zhejiang province, okay? They have been routinely rounded up by the Chinese government and been placed into re-education camp where all sorts of terrible, horrible things are happening to them. Forced sterilizations, forced abortions, it's basically slave labor. If you want to know more, watch my video. I'll put a link up here. It's basically called Meet the Uighurs. Now, the Uighurs have gotten national attention lately from a lot of people because this is a huge human rights violation. I mean, there's some really bad, nasty things happening to the Uighurs. And here's Disney going, hey, thanks Zhejiang for letting us film there. What? Forced abortions and sterilizations and gang rapes? We don't know anything. We have no comment on that subject. So do you understand kind of why some people are a little upset, saying, hey, Disney, this is a little bit tone deaf. We're going to boycott your movie now. Now, there is another boycott going on, which I think is kind of even more ridiculous. Hobby Lobby is once again in the news. So Hobby Lobby is a Christian-owned organization. So if you're on the left, that must mean you automatically boycott it, right? Because anything that's Christian-owned, we boycott. So they were boycotted 6-7 years ago. They're still in business. Go figure. Anyway, so at one of their stores, someone put up a display that says, USA, vote Trump. I guess right in the front of the store. Yeah, that's it. They put, vote Trump. So they support President Trump. So now we need to boycott all of Hobby Lobby again. And it's like a trending hashtag on Twitter. Now, this is kind of hot on the heels of the CEO of Goya, you know, the beans in a can. He supported Trump. So everybody said, hey, we got to boycott Goya now. Because he supports President Trump. This is a little insane to me because even though I disagree often with Trump, him being the President of the United States, we, in all actuality, should all be supporting him. Now, maybe you're not supporting his re-election chances, but as President, you should all be praying for the President of the United States that he makes good decisions. It should go without saying whether it was Clinton or Bush or Obama, or if it's going to be Biden, and a few months after that, Harris. We should all be praying for the leader of our country. That's how we should support them. Now, let's get to the boycotts. Boycotting Mulan. Boycotting Hobby Lobby. Once again, boycotting Goya, which, as far as I know, I haven't seen the sales figures, but it kind of backfired because a lot of people rallied around Goya, and people who didn't even know what Goya was went to the store and bought up Goya, because that's what half the country who's on the right does. Whenever the left says, hey, we're going to boycott your boy, the people on the right say, oh, really? Well, we're going to start a awareness campaign and help out Goya. It backfired when he tried to boycott Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A is delicious, and their service is great, and they help out lots of great organizations. Do you remember when Phil Robertson from Duck Dynasty Acclaim made some comments that offended the LGBT community, and Cracker Barrel said, all right, we're removing all your merchandise from our restaurants. And then the people who go to Cracker Barrel are mainly Bible-belting conservatives, and they said, oh, okay, you're removing all their products? We're going to boycott your restaurant. So Cracker Barrel said, products back in. Now, I get it. I mean, I did a whole video on the Uighurs, and what's happening to them is absolutely, it's evil. It's evil. And the whole world, big corporations, Hollywood, everybody's just turning a blind eye to it. You know why? Because we depend so much on China for everything that we consume. Electronics, pharmaceuticals, all sorts of products. Basically everything at Walmart is made by China, because we've become as dependent on them for goods as we have on the Middle East for oil. We need to regain our independence, but that's a whole nother subject, okay? But everybody's just turning a blind eye to this atrocity. I mean, I'm not talking about dozens of Uighurs. We're talking hundreds of thousands. Terrible. And you know who's making a lot of our products that we get so cheap from China? The Uighurs. It's slave labor. It's no different than the blacks in the South making goods. You're buying products made through slave labor. And are you going to turn a blind eye to that so you can keep getting them cheap? That's pretty hypocritical. Anyway, so I digress. I get the gut reaction of, oh man, I'm so ticked off these people, let's boycott it. Does that really work? One, I don't think it really works. Two, is that the right thing to do? I mean, I'm kind of ticked off at Nike, for supporting Colin Kaepernick. You know, endorsing him, giving all this money while he was kneeling for the anthem. I think it's very insulting to the country. I'm one of those few who are still holding out on that notion. But when Nike released a Betsy Ross sneaker, which actually kind of looked cool, and then Colin Kaepernick said, no, that's horrible. She's from an era of slave trading and ruthless brutality and all these white people, and Nike pulled the shoe really before anybody could buy it. I thought, are you guys kidding me? You're Nike. You're bowing to this guy? You totally do not represent anything that I want in a shoe company. And you're in America. I'd rather buy Reebok or Adidas now. But that's my point. I'm not out boycotting Nike. I'm just choosing to no longer buy their products. Maybe I will in the future if they change their stance. That's all I'm saying. I'm just not going to buy their stuff. I'm not going to tell everybody not to buy it. You know why? Because in the case of Goya, how is that helping all those people? You know how many minorities probably work for Goya? In one instance, we're always The left is always about, we got to help the minorities, we got to help this, we got to let everybody into this country. And then when the CEO says, I'm for Trump. No, we got to sink that company. We got to crush their sales. So what? So he has to lay off all his minority workers? Does that make any sense whatsoever? The same thing with Disney. Disney is in a position to lose big on Mulan. The movie cost $200 million to make. I can't imagine they'll make that back on the streaming costs. Now, maybe it'll do well in China, but reviews in China aren't so great. But I just don't get boycotting it right now. Why don't you just go out and say, hey, rather than saying, hey, let's boycott Mulan, just say, hey, Disney, stop thanking people. Or are you aware, Disney, of what's going on with the Uighurs? They're being sterilized and killed and tortured and all sorts of other bad stuff. Just say what's going on. Simply boycotting a movie, it doesn't help. Okay? You think you're squeezing Disney, but they're worth so much money. Hobby Lobby, they don't care, man. And who knows who even put up that display? Could have been an employee. The company may not even know about it. But even if they did, let's get real. Hobby Lobby has a certain customer base. The people who are boycotting Hobby Lobby probably never go to Hobby Lobby in the first place. So Hobby Lobby's not going to lose a dime because you can't handle the fact that someone put up a pro-Trump display in the front of the store. Guys, you got to stop this boycott mania, all right? Your social activism, you're just so empty inside. You just feel like you need to do some good in the world, so you want to cancel everybody, and it's so annoying and disgusting. Why don't you donate to a cause that might free the Uighurs? You want to boycott something, try boycotting China. Can you do that? Because boycotting Disney's Mulan is not going to free the Uighurs. Boycotting Hobby Lobby is not going to hurt Trump's chances to get reelected. Boycotting Goya or Chick-fil-A or whomever is going to deprive a lot of people really tasty chicken sandwiches. Guys, leave your comments below. Do boycotts really work? Is it really the Christian thing to do? I'm a little bit split on this, but at the same time, I like standing up for causes, especially the Uighurs. I mean, they need help, and we need to stop our dependence on China. But I just don't know that boycotts are really effective or good use of our time and energy or of the spirit inside of us. But, you may disagree. You may be on my side with certain things, but still have valid points. Leave those in the comment section below. I love to hear from you. As always, thumbs up, share, subscribe. Let's get those numbers up. And guys, I thank you for watching. I love you. Have a blessed week.